All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Day 9 of live interview prep. The pressure is on, even more than it was previously, because I passed my Amazon phone screen 2 days ago, and so I'm in the process of scheduling the full interviews at Amazon, which I'm gonna schedule them a couple of weeks out to give me that extra time to grind out the preparation that I need to do. And so yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at some of the stuff we're going to be doing live on stream today. Okay, so Clash of Code. I'll definitely be doing a couple of those just for fun. Anyone who wants to participate is more than welcome to. And then I had someone come through the stream yesterday who told me about a website that I didn't know about called Codewars. So I went ahead and signed up. I linked my GitHub account. And I don't actually know too much yet about this website, but I can see here that it's already recommending a C++ challenge for me. So I think I'll just go in there and try that. Oh wait, I can specify which language I want my challenge to be in. So that's cool. So I'll do at least something on Codewars just because I want to check it out. Then I have some problems on LeetCode that I want to pick out. So these two problems, we have the maximum product subarray and the maximum length of a subarray with a positive product. These are under the dynamic programming study guide on LeetCode. So I'm trying to make my way through that study guide. So yeah, here it is, the Ultimate DP Study Plan. So I've been making my way through this, and now we're on maximum product subarray and maximum length of subarray with a positive product. So I'll be looking at those probably. So these are what I'm going through right now, is all the ideas that I have for the stream. I don't quite know how long the stream is going to be. But then, last but not least, I do have a license to algoexpert.io right now. And so I picked out a few problems on algoexpert.io that I want to do, that I want to try. So this knapsack problem is a dynamic programming problem as well. Then there's Dijkstra's algorithm, which is a really valuable graph algorithm to know for finding the shortest distance from a single node to every other node in the graph. So if we get to that one, we'll talk about the algorithm. Then a topological sort is also just a good algorithm to know. And if we get to that one, we'll talk about it. And then also being able to write a algorithm that is that tells you whether a graph has a cycle in it. And I'm pretty sure this is accomplished just using a DFS and keeping track of some flags and stuff about the nodes that you've visited and nodes that are on the current path and stuff like that. So there's all that. Also, I wanted to, so this is not really super relevant to the stream, but I watched a YouTube video. There's this guy who posts on YouTube. He actually owns Algo Expert. This guy, Clement Mihailescu. So he owns Algo Expert. He's also ex-Google, ex-Facebook. And I was watching one of his videos. He has lots of different types of videos. They're all quite good. I enjoy keeping up with his channel's content. But I watched a YouTube video earlier today, which was a mock Google coding interview, and he asked a question about basically searching for strings of text in a larger string of text. And for the very first time ever, I believe I discovered the existence of the Aho-Korosik algorithm, which is a string searching algorithm invented in 1975 by Alfred V. Aho and Margaret J. Korosik, which is why it's got that name. And I don't fully understand how it works, but I know what it accomplishes. How it does it, I'm not entirely sure yet. So that's an algorithm that I'm actually quite fascinated by, that I want to learn. I don't know if I'm going to learn it live on stream today or tomorrow or ever, but I am fascinated by that algorithm. So, okay, so just to kick some actual content off, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of Clash of Code just to warm up the brain a little bit. We'll see how we do in those. And yeah, so join a clash. If anyone wants to participate in a clash with me, that would be more than welcome. And so what we can do is we can become friends in the website in CodinGame, and then once we're friends, I'll be able to invite you to the clash. So anyone who's interested in that, just let me know. Okay, so we're just waiting for a couple more people to hop into the lobby, and then I'll hit the launch clash button. So we got 6. That's pretty good. Maybe a couple more will join. We just want 2 more for that full lobby, ideally. People are leaving. They think I should have. I think when people leave like that, I think that means that they think that I should have hit the button before we got a full lobby. Maybe there's not enough people online right now to get a full lobby. Okay. Someone's in. We got A's. Alright, this is good enough. Let's start the clash. We got 7 people. Fastest mode. Duration, the number of minutes. Okay, so it's gonna be we're gonna split on that, and then we're gonna do plus d bracket 0 times 60 plus plus d bracket 1. Let's make sure that we get that. Okay, so we get a quick win on the first one. It was very easy. You're provided an amount of time in hours : minutes, and the output is just the number of minutes. So all I did was I split on the colon to give me basically I get an array where the first element is a string for the hours and the second element is a string for the minutes. So then I just grab, can you see this okay? Maybe I should zoom in. I grab the first elements, then in JavaScript you can cast it to a number by putting plus in front. So then I multiply the number of hours times 60, and then I add on the end the number of minutes, and that gets me a solution. I was able to get that one in 44 seconds. I can share the code. Let's see. I mean, I'm expecting everyone to basically have the same thing. Okay, so this is another valid approach. You don't have to split the string on the colon. You can also just use substrings, because I think the description to the problem guaranteed that the format was going to be hour, colon, minute. And so that's another way to do it. This person also used substrings. Oh, so this person looks like they did an extra step, but it doesn't matter because they got the right answer pretty quickly. But they actually they just remove the colon, and then they take the substring for the first two, and then they take the substring for the next one too. So that was that was a good one to start on. Let's go into another lobby. I'll probably end up doing like 2 through somewhere between 2 and 5 Clash of Codes just to kick things off. Anyone viewing is welcome to participate if they want to. Then after I finish with Clash of Code, I'm going to go take a look at Codewars, and it'll be my first time doing that. It'll be my first time doing anything on Codewars whatsoever. So, all right, come on, stop leaving. Are people just impatient? Do people think that you're just supposed to click the launch Clash button when there's 4 people in the lobby? Oh, this person's good. So this person right here, not a clue who it is, but this person's been in a bunch of my Clash of Code lobbies, and I think for the most part they always win. I wonder, can I get to their profile from here? Hold on, I don't want to leave the lobby by accident, but what if I... Okay, so there we go. I can open it up in a new tab. I bet they're really, really high ranked. Okay, so their rank is actually close. It's comparable to mine. I think I'm at like 13,000th or something, and we both have a flag for top 3%. I don't think I'm gonna launch with 6 because there's only 20 seconds left, and we might get 2 more people in here. Everyone just be patient. Not the viewers, but the people in the lobby, just chill. Only 10 seconds of waiting left. Okay, here we go. We're going in. I hope it's not shortest mode. Okay, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. We just got another person. Okay, we got another fastest mode. Chess club. People can bring chess pieces to sell. The cost of the pieces is the chess value of each one. 9 for the queen, 5 for the rook. Okay, got it. Oh, I see. So, let me solve this one in, JavaScript is fine. I'll just have, x equals an empty object where, what was it? Q goes to 9. R goes to 5. K goes to 4. Knight is N. N goes to 3, and bishop is also 3. And then pawn is 1. Okay, so we just had to define that, and so now what we can do is create our answer, start it off at 0. We're going to console.log that at the end. And then we go through, so for C of S, answer plus equals x sub C. Oh, it's uppercase S. Shit. Oh, okay. Multiplied by 100 if the set does not include a king, or 200 if it does. Okay, so here's what we'll do. So let has king equals false. If C equals K, then has king equals true. Then what we actually end up printing is has king. If that's true, then it's answer times 200. Otherwise, answer times 100. There it is. So we win our second one in a row. We win our second one in a row. I'll share the code. We can review the code. So you gotta create like a mapping from the piece to its value. So queen worth 9, rook worth 5, so on so forth down to pawn being worth 1. Then you read the line and you start calculating your answer, and when you get to actually printing the answer, you need to know whether or not there was a king. So I start off my has king as false, and then as I iterate through the pieces of the chess set, I'm increasing my answer by the value of the piece, and then if we see a king, then we flip our has king boolean to true, and if it's all kings, then this will just run each time and it'll end up being true, which is what we want. Then we calculate our final answer, which is if there's a king, it's the answer times 200, otherwise it's the answer times 100. And it looks like we're pretty far ahead of the field on this one. So I thought that it was going to be close because I didn't think it was particularly like complex a problem. But yeah, we're still waiting for some other solutions. Okay, there we go. So Batu comes through with a 4-minute solve in Ruby. Let's see what they did. Yeah, same thing. They iterate through the chars of the string. Then they just have a bunch of if statements, which increases their total by the value of the piece. And then at the end, if the string includes k, they multiply it by 100. Otherwise, they multiply it. Oh, if it doesn't include k, they multiply it by 100. Otherwise, they multiply it by 200. So yeah, I mean it's basically the same thing. Also, I did miss a semicolon right here. Semicolons are usually optional in JavaScript. There's some weird cases where you actually do want them, need them. But yeah, usually when I'm doing like the fastest mode in Codewars, I'm not at all focused on like creating perfect syntax, you know what I mean? It's really just about getting code that produces the right answer as fast as possible. Like this has king, usually I'd probably uppercase the K in it, so it's obvious that it's a 2-word variable name. Okay, so everyone else is still clashing. I'm gonna go ahead and join another lobby. So we actually have 2 wins in a row. I'm not quite sure how that's gonna impact my rank. Hopefully in a positive fashion. Well, almost, it'll certainly. Ooh, employer. Okay, so they have a, they got something. I didn't realize CodinGame had this, but they got something for employers too. Validate developers' coding skills. Get an accurate, comprehensive view of developers' technical skills. Oh, that's cool. So you get like little profiles like this for people. Oh wait, they rate you on how well you speak English? It's weird. And then I guess you can also do live collaborative coding interviews through the site as well. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, so they have the 2022 report. I'm curious about what it contains. But let's take a look. Okay, so this clash is starting soon, so let's focus on this for a second. Okay, fastest mode. Fastest mode. We want fastest mode. Do not give me shortest mode. Well, actually, reverse mode is okay. Just do not give me shortest mode, please. God damn it, it's shortest mode. Well, the nice thing about shortest mode is it kind of takes the stress off of like getting a working solution ASAP. Because in shortest mode, that doesn't matter. Also, for shortest mode, I should probably start relearning how to code in Ruby, because those are the best, I think. I think that's the best language for shortest mode in general. Figure out how much sugar Johnny ate, given the time he took in seconds and the speed he ate it at in grams per minute. So if he eats 20 grams per minute and he spent 30 seconds, then yeah. Okay, I see. So the solution is to just divide the time in half. No. The solution is to divide the time by 60, and that'll give you a fraction, and then you multiply that by the speed. That seems right. So let's make sure that we're producing the right answer first before we focus on trying to make it short. Although I know for a fact that I'm not going to win this, because this mode is... someone was in the chat recently who pointed out that this mode is language biased. So the solution, though, like to actually generate the right answer, is time over 60 times speed. Yeah. So that's the formula. So now the annoying thing is we have to like condense this code. So we can do this. We can in JavaScript you can get rid of const. So I can do that. The other thing that I can do is I can have p equal parse int and r equal readline, and then this just becomes p, this becomes p, this becomes r, this becomes r. I can get rid of all the semicolons. So if I play all the test cases, we're still good. My code size is 59. The problem is if I submit this now, everyone else can see that I did it in 59 and like has a number to beat. I don't know if there's any way to condense this more in this language. Should I try doing it in a different language? So how short can I get this in Python? Let me this is why I fucking hate this mode. Let me just copy this JavaScript code out. Wait. Wait. Oh, someone submitted it in C with no code and got code size 0. And then someone else submitted it in C# with code size 589. So right now, my code is still better than both of those. Okay, so let me just copy out the JavaScript solution. So how would I do this in Python? How do you input in Python? It was just, I can just do I can do ij equals input int, right? And then I can do print I of j. What's the formula? Divided by 60 times times this again, I of j. So this is why this mode is so dumb, because it makes your code completely unreadable. Let's run this. I is not defined. Wait, isn't this how, can't you multi, oh wait, I didn't change the language. Python 3. Wait, no, don't delete my code. Bro. Yeah, give me that. Okay. Now, unsupported operand. Oh wait, J needs to be on the outside. It's J of I. J of I. Oh, it casts it to a floating point number. Wait. Do I make this integer division like that? Is that what the problem is? No. Fuck, how do I... how do I in Python float to int? I don't know. Do I just have to wrap this whole thing in another J? Like that? Okay. So, by switching from JavaScript to Python, we improved our lines of code from 59 to 40. So right now, Python seems to be the way to go. You know what? I feel good. Hold on, how much time is left? 8 minutes. If I were to just submit this and reveal my score, what are the odds that... Oh, I can see what languages these people are using. So I can see that this person who hasn't submitted yet is using C. And I can see that this person... Okay, so C is actually interesting. So I need to keep an eye on the time, but let me switch over to C. And let me code this up in C real quick, because C has a beautiful function called scanf. So I can do int what is it? Time and speed. I can do this. And then I can do scanf %d into T and S. And then I can print F. Wait, can I? Yeah. Or should I do like? Yeah, I think I need to print F. How many lines am I at? Okay, so this is already not going to be better because I'm already at 40 characters. But well, let's just see what it would be. So it would be printf %d, and it would be, and then it would be the formula. It would be someone submitted. Oh no! It was just giving me I think my final rank from a previous challenge. So the formula is T divided by 60 times S. Is it? What's wrong here? Why is this not working? Oh, I haven't written scanf in a while, but that should be right. Oh, is it D? Or is it like U? No, U is for unsigned. So I'm trying to figure out this error message. You know what? Let's just Google it. Error expected declaration specifiers. Yo, it's not gonna let me select that to fucking copy it. God damn it, dude. Wait, how much time do we have left? As of right now, the plan is very much still to submit the Python solution. But I just wanted to see if I could get this working. How much time is left? Okay, 5 minutes left. Expected declaration specifiers before string constant. Okay, let's just search for that. C scanf expected specifiers before constant. I don't know, was that even it? Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Does this all need to be inside int main? Is that what the problem is? Four minutes left. Okay, this does run now. So this is already way worse than our Python solution. So that's probably what we're going to end up submitting. But what's going on here? Implicitly declaring library function. Wait, do I need to import these or something? Am I supposed to... is it include... oh, it's stdio.h, so I need that, I think. Wait, does that need to be in quotes? I never actually did figure out the difference between those. Okay, so we got 3 minutes left. Probably gonna end up just submitting the Python solution. Okay, so this can be shortened. What's happening here? Oh, this does need to be floating point math. Shit. So float, and then these become Fs. Oh, no, I don't need to do that. I can read them in as ints, but then I have to, here, watch this. If I put 60.0 there, and then I cast all this to an int, but, like this might work. Okay, cool. So we solved the problem in 3 languages. Python is the best one. There's 1 minute and 53 seconds left. Let's bring the Python back. Let's just take a closer look at what I came up with for Python and see if we can improve it anymore. Back to Python. This is why I hate shortest mode, because you have to sit here and stare at it for the whole time. Okay, so what the hell is going on? Oh, I'm the only one who hasn't submitted. Oh, okay, so Steven 7 submitted, and his code size is 129. Okay, so I should be able to submit this and win. Let's play all the test cases again. Submit. Okay, cool. So I believe that, man, look at this. Look at our Look at our results for the day. I've done 3 clashes. We got 1 out of 7, 1 out of 6, and 1 out of 5. That's pog. So yeah, the Python solution, 40 characters. I don't know if you can make it any smaller than this. It's possible that you can. But one important trick for shortest mode in CodinGame, Clash of Code, is to any function that you're calling more than once, you want to store that in a variable of that's just 1 letter long. And then you can see here I'm like inputting and casting things to ints, and then the math is in there as well. So yeah, that's that one. Hold on, how am I doing like rank wise? Because I did really good on like 3 in a row. Okay, so I'm gonna do another Clash Code. I just want to take a look at this. This could be interesting. So this is CodinGame and CoderPad's Tech Hiring Survey from 2022. Let's just see what's in here. Let's see what's in here. So they surveyed close to 14,000 developers and recruiters from all over the world to bring answers. 70% of developers want to work remotely, either full-time or a few days a week, right? I would put myself in that category. Probably not full-time, but I would like to be able to work from home a few days a week. 57% of recruiters are ready to remove the CV from the recruiting process. So that's something that I feel like people have wanted for a while. Like people who have oh wait, this is talking about CVs. I thought this was talking about degrees, because there's been a big problem for a while where like so many companies, including pretty much every big tech company, when you apply and you know you're applying because you're trying to get an interview, they want to know that you've got at least a bachelor's degree in computer science. It's just kind of like been the standard for a while, but the issue with it is that having a bachelor's degree in computer science doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be good on the job, and not having one doesn't necessarily mean that you won't. You know what I mean? All the stuff that you can learn in college while getting a bachelor's degree, every single important thing that you can learn for free on the internet. You can also learn it not for free on the internet too. You know, you can take Udemy courses, for example, or you could take Coursera courses. You could do certifications. There's just way more ways to get that same knowledge. So the fact that so many companies are still asking for degrees is really dumb. It shouldn't be a question of have you spent, you know, $100,000 or whatever to get this piece of paper. It should be a question of, do you have the knowledge and skills needed to perform the job? So moving on, the percentage of recruiters hiring developers from non-academic backgrounds has doubled. So that's good news. That's directly related to what I was just talking about. We should be hiring developers from non-academic backgrounds. So we should be giving them the exact same chance that developers from academic background have. Like, it's still important that they be able to do the job, right? So your interview and your recruiting process needs to include, you know, assessments and evaluations that are going to predict as accurately as possible whether or not a person is actually going to be able to do the job. But the problem so far has been that people from non-academic backgrounds have a disadvantage at even getting to be considered. So but this, I mean, this right here is good news. Says the percentage of recruiters hiring developers from non-academic backgrounds has almost doubled, so that's great. 42% of recruiters will use skill-based assessment solutions to improve diversity. Perfect. Candidate experience is the top priority recruiters plan to invest in. Candidate experience. Yeah, I mean, candidate experience needs to be good. Okay, I mean, yeah, whatever. These top 4 are way more exciting to me than this last one right here. Okay, about coding. No, I don't care. I know about CoderPad. Okay, so I don't even know what CoderPad is. What is CoderPad? Simple yet powerful online technical assessment software that makes it easy to interview in the candidate's language of choice, so hiring managers can quickly get a quality signal of an engineer's skills. Great. Okay, so let's keep going with the results of the report. Also, this is completely impromptu, by the way. I did not know that I was going to be going over CodinGame's 2022 report on stream today, but it just happened to pop up on screen, and I'm interested as to what it says. So, working as a developer in 2022, USA is the most lucrative place to be a developer. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. So we got average salaries by country, and obviously they have to somehow normalize. I'm sure that they've normalized this. Either maybe what they've done is they've converted it all into USD. That's what I would assume that they've done. Let's just read through here. So the top 3 countries are the United States, Switzerland, and Canada. So if I have to move out of the United States, it looks like Switzerland will have to be a country of consideration. I did not realize that until just now. But yeah, so we got Switzerland here on the very top, only behind the United States for the highest salaries in the industry. And let's just look at a few more. So just looking at this graph, United States and Switzerland are significantly ahead of everyone else. Look at that jump going from Canada to Switzerland. Then Canada and United Kingdom are very comparable. Sweden, Germany, Netherlands, and then a lot of other countries. So let's see what it says here. While 44% of developers in the USA make 100K or more, and 5% make over 200K, in India, over 75% make less than 20K. That's bad. That's just bad. The regional difference in wages. I mean, this just like explains why so many people from countries like India are trying to, get jobs in the US doing the same work because they make so much more money. But yeah, I mean, moving to the US is one way to solve the problem. Ideally, and I know it's easier said than done, India will start paying those people more. Anyway, that's a topic that I just don't even know enough about to talk about, so I'm not going to say anything else about it. The regional difference in wages, coupled with the embracing of remote work and increasing openness to recruit globally, presents an opportunity for developers around the world. We expect to see a wage increase in future surveys as recruiters widen their talent pool. That's dope. Well, it's dope that they expect to see that. It'll be even more dope if that actually happens. Okay, so let's see here. This is an important topic. Top in demand technical skills for 2022. Developers and recruiters are not always fully aligned on the skills they wish to hire for or acquire. This year, the top 3 skills recruiters wish to hire for are web development, DevOps, and AI/machine learning, whereas developers are most interested in learning AI/machine learning, web development, and game development. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like the whole DevOps thing is kind of slept on. Like, it's a really important part of the industry, but there's just, I don't know why, but there's not enough developer interest in learning it. Developers are most interested in learning AI, machine learning, web development, and game development. It's a good match for web development and AI, yeah, but not for DevOps and game development. Game development, man, you know what? I've been talking about this since I started doing these streams. Like, I'm gonna be doing some actual software development that's not, interview prep related. on stream, and it would be fun to build some kind of game. I don't know what kind of game it would be. It would definitely be in the browser. Like, it's definitely going to be a game that you can access, through the web. But other than that, like what kind of game it is, whether or not it's multiplayer, all those things, I have no idea. Okay, so last paragraph. Developers, however, have the desire to specialize in areas which do not always match the market demand. For example, game development, blockchain, and robotics, whereas recruiters lack candidates with skills in DevOps, cloud gaming, and database software. Well, there you go. So anyone who's who's starting from nothing, or anyone who's like still really early in their either in college or really early in their career, where it still might make sense to do some sort of permanent switch in your area of expertise or focus. These, apparently, according to this survey at least, these is what we need more of. Go learn DevOps, go learn cloud computing, or go learn database software. Because, yeah, I mean, at least according to this survey, which is CodinGame's annual survey of the tech industry and, recruiting and all that stuff, this is what recruiters are looking for more of, that they're having a hard time finding. DevOps, cloud computing, and database software. Okay, so then there's the graph that we just read the summary of. So you've got a bunch of different areas of expertise, and you got the blue is developers want to learn, and you got the yellow is recruiters want to hire. And yeah, man, look at how many recruiters are trying to hire a web dev. Just so freaking many. Okay, moving on. So languages. This is also another interesting topic. In 2022, JavaScript, Java, and Python will be the top languages recruiters will look for. That's great for me because I know all three of those. If you don't know at least one of those languages, go learn it. Those are very important languages in the industry right now. JavaScript, obviously for front end, and depending on your stack, could be the back end as well. Python for AI and ML, and just data science in general. Python, and then Java. Well, I mean, I don't know if I know exactly why Java is on the list, but it's a great programming language. It might be because there's a lot of ways to build backends for web applications using Java. Like you got Spring and stuff like that. In general, there is at least the same percentage of developers who know a language as there are recruiters seeking it, if not more. This shows developers are aware of market demand and learn languages to meet them. Great. Interestingly, for a few languages, there is more hiring demand than supply, including Clojure and Scala. And yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Like, I'm surprised that there's even a demand for those. I wonder what the context is of that. I wonder which projects and or companies are using these primarily. But obviously, because that exists. Obviously, there's a need for these. But if I was a new developer, these are not languages that I would run to begin learning. It would be one of these three: JavaScript, Java, or Python. Okay, what's next? Angular 2 Plus offers job opportunities for developers. As with languages, developers are keeping up with market demands for frameworks, with the three most sought after by recruiters in 2022 being React, Node.js, and .NET Core. I'm happy to see that because React is my favorite library framework, whatever you want to call it, to build front-end apps with of all time. I love React, so it's great to see that it's here at the forefront. However, Angular 2 Plus, which is well suited for enterprise class apps, really lacks developer supply. Developers prefer more agile frameworks such as Vue or React. Yeah, I haven't messed with Vue much at all. I used to code a lot in Angular, the original V1 of Angular, which I think is called AngularJS now. And I think Angular 2 is a more component focused version of that same thing. But with one of the nice things you get with React is you get to build the rest of your ecosystem outside of the rendering layer, out of any libraries you want. If I understand correctly, and this was definitely the case for Angular, it's probably still the case for Angular 2. Whenever you use Angular 2, they lock you into a, it basically, it just comes with a bunch of shit that you can use optionally, but with React, it's just the rendering really that React takes care of. And so how you handle interacting with the database, or doing services and stuff like that, you can kind of choose however you want to do it. Your state management is completely up to you using React. You can use Redux, you can use React Context, or there's a bunch more open source options. Whereas Angular 2, I would expect that it's kind of like built in and there's like one way to do it. Okay, so they're saying here that they encourage developers to learn Angular 2 because it might increase their employability. Gotcha. Okay, so what's next here? This is a really long survey, or a really long report from the survey. I might actually skip to areas that I find interesting. Let's see, what's this about? Developers want better project management and scheduling. Top 3 challenges remained the same compared to 2020. Unplanned changes to the schedule are the biggest pain point, followed by unclear direction. So I was working at Squarespace for a while, and bro, let me tell you, the project that I was involved on specifically at the time was called Squarespace 8, and it was like the brand new version of Squarespace that was supposed to represent the future of Squarespace and the way that we wanted our users to build their websites moving into the future. Man, whew, that was some unclear direction. And a lack of technical knowledge in the team. Interesting. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to build anything if your team doesn't have the technical knowledge to do so. Okay, so what's next here? As the Great Resignation in the tech industry becomes an issue worldwide, those looking to retain employees should focus on providing clear direction, adequate training, and managing project timelines with realistic deadlines. This whole Great Resignation thing, I've kind of seen this floating about as a buzzword. Let's see here. I was just wondering if I'm a part of the Great Resignation, because I quit my job at Google like a month and a half ago. So anyway, so section 3, is remote work here to stay? Most developers want to work remotely. In 2022, 70% of developers want to work remotely. 33% prefer to work remotely full-time. 37% prefer remote a few days a week. Only 4% would prefer to be at the office full-time. Yeah, this is me right here. I want to be in the office a few days a week. Yeah, so I would be in the majority of this 38% here. So then that's being compared with the remote working possibilities offered by recruiters. So, I mean, those are fairly similar charts, I'm not gonna lie. Those line up fairly well. Yeah, so that's what they're saying here. Basically, the charts match, and so that's pretty good for recruiters being able to find candidates that they want, and Other way around too. This is good news, as restricting developer posts to the office is a surefire way to reduce the hiring pool and appear less attractive than competitors' offers. True, true. Developers unhappy to return to the office after COVID. Okay, I'm skipping those ones. Hybrid teams as productive as grouped teams. With the various changes over the last couple of years, the majority of teams are now hybrid. Only 20% were already hybrid before the pandemic. What's the definition of a hybrid team? I wish that they would define that here. 32% of developers believe this mix of on-site... Oh, that's what they're talking about. A hybrid team is where you have some of your developers remote and some of your developers in the office. 32% of developers believe that it has a positive impact on productivity, whereas 51% of recruiters are convinced of the positive effect. Okay. The effectiveness of hybrid teams is great news as companies wide. Yeah. Okay, great. Recruiting in 2022, a tight but dynamic job market. More companies hiring in the hundreds. Great. Companies' budgets for recruiting developers are growing. Great. That's all good news. Almost 50% of recruiters struggle to find qualified candidates. Interesting. So finding qualified candidates remains the #1 challenge when recruiting developers. It is clear that the market is tight, as recruiters also listed standing out from other companies to attract talent as the third biggest challenge. Moving on. I don't want to stare at this report too much more. I think I've covered some of the parts that I find the most interesting. Recruiters predict difficulty in recruiting full stack profiles. Yeah, the full stack thing... The full stack thing is going to become more niche. That's my prediction. Like, it's definitely still a valid way to build an app with a bunch of full stack developers. But really, what's even better than that is having people that are experts in front end, or working together with people who are experts in back end. And like, when you have that expertise on both sides, instead of like a bunch of developers who can kind of do both a little bit, you end up with better products. That's my opinion. I don't know if that's true, but like, I would consider myself a full stack developer, you know, because whenever I work on side projects, I build the whole thing from the back end to the front end. But when I'm at work, I'm focused exclusively on front end usually, and that's because that's where I have more experience and more expertise. Like, I can tell you, most full stack developers probably can't tell you much about how like browsers work, and how does a browser take CSS, HTML, and combine those into something that they actually render on screen. And like, as a front end developer, it you know, knowing exactly how that works can enable you to build more performant apps. Pandemic is a boost for contingent workers. 42% either started hiring contingent workers or started... okay. Interesting. More recruitment globally. This is what we want to see right here. Like, with the whole remote workforce thing growing and hopefully continuing to grow, I should be able to. This is what I want. I don't know if we'll ever get there, but I should be able to go on the internet, search for a company that I like, and regardless of where their headquarters is, I should be able to you know, apply and interview to work there. You know, it could be in a different city in the same country, or it could be in a different country entirely. And like, I would love to be able to have the opportunity to work there. And that's going to be better for employers too, because they're going to be able to attract like employees that may not be looking to relocate, people who are just happy living where they are. If those people can work for their favorite companies, even though the companies aren't local to them, I just feel like it's a win-win both for the employers and the employees. So 50% would search globally and only 20% would seek a job in their current city. This is a change from 2020, when only 35% of developers said that they would search globally. Undoubtedly, the embracing of remote work over the last couple of years has played a role. Yeah, for sure. Recruiters are also opening their nets wide with 40% hiring internationally. We will undoubtedly see fewer and fewer posts limited to local applicants. Awesome, awesome. That's exactly what we want. That's how this industry needs to be, in my opinion. Saying goodbye to the CV. Roughly 57% of recruiters said that they would. This shows that recruiters recognize the limitations of the CV. Focusing on aspects such as the educational background and work experience, the CV does not give an accurate representation of the candidate's skills. It can also introduce bias into the process needlessly. Recruiters consider hiring based on technical assessment and live interviews as good alternatives. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, forget about me listing out all the shit I know how to do and like which school I went to, and instead get on a video call with me and let me show you. That's the idea. Europe is the most reluctant to ditch the CV. Interesting differences appear between continents. We find that the most resistance to ditch the CV in Europe, with 40% saying they wouldn't, followed closely by Oceania. South American recruiters were the most open to the possibility. Okay, that's interesting. Recruiters agree bias is an issue with tech recruiting. 65% of recruiters believe that bias is an issue. This widespread recognition of bias couples with a desire to turn towards more objective and fairer hiring methods, such as practical assessments and live coding interviews. Yeah, we were talking about that. Skill-based hiring is the #1 measure to improve diversity. Yep, we were talking about that. Recruiters casting their net wider than universities. Yes, thank you. Recruiting developers from non-academic backgrounds has gone from a rare occurrence to becoming normal. As the market tightens, recruiters recognize the importance of keeping the top of the funnel open to not filter out potentially quality candidates. The percentage of recruiters who hire from this pool has almost doubled. Great. That's exactly what we need. I think we're like 60% of the way through this report, and then I'm going to get back to live coding. More than 1 in 3 developers didn't learn from university. Okay. The previous trend is good news for the 40% of developer respondents who didn't learn to code at engineering school or university. Most of those are self-taught, and a small part trained through online or offline short-term training. Yep. Fewer than half of the devs who responded to the survey learned computer programming at a university or engineering school. Yeah, that's a significant amount, and so it's important for recruiters to make sure that they're considering those candidates as well. At least giving them a chance. They should have an equal chance as people who have, a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. Upskilling and reskilling is a priority. So when companies cannot hire to meet their technical needs, they often turn to training existing employees to meet demands. The majority of recruiters companies are currently investing in upskilling, teaching employees new skills within the same job, and almost half are also reskilling employees, training them to do a different job altogether. Some developers appear to be unaware of all the training initiatives in place. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to something more interesting. Candidate experience. Okay, it's clear that recruiters recognize that they need to adapt to a candidate-driven market. Candidate experience has come first place 2 years running. Talent retention has remained second place. These are the recruiter priorities. So candidate experience first, then talent retention, then expanding the talent pool, and talent diversity are a big focus. So those are in positions 3 and 4. And then employer branding has moved from 3rd place last year to 5th place this year, as recruiters judge expanding their talent pools and talent diversity as greater priorities. Are those permanent signs of change? Well, let's hope so. I don't know. I don't know about the whole candidate experience thing, but if recruiters say it's important, then I guess it is. Okay, what's the next section? So now we're at whiteboard interviews are the worst. It's unanimous. Indeed, research has shown that many well-qualified candidates can be eliminated during whiteboard interviews because they're not used to performing in front of an audience. Well, hint, hint. If you stream coding challenges live on Twitch, that helps with that. That's exactly what I'm doing. Because I have quote-unquote whiteboard interviews coming up. They're not going to be in front of an actual whiteboard because it's going to be on a video call with some sort of text editor, like a shared text editor. But okay, so let's keep going. Such tests cause needless anxiety and often feature problems to solve that don't have any direct relation to the daily job requirements. Yeah, that's been a big problem for a long time, and that's probably going to continue to be one for a while until big companies can agree on how you assess how an employee is going to perform on the job in some more reliable way than checking to see if they know their data structures and algorithms. But that's an active area of research, and I'm sure that they'll figure out. It's already getting better. A lot of companies have like the behavioral interview and the system design interview in place to complement 3 technical coding interviews, which is already better than just straight up 5 technical coding interviews. Okay, so the next section says that live coding interviews and technical tests are best. While developers judged technical tests with practical questions to be the best way to most accurately assess their skills, recruiters believe that live coding interviews have an edge. The general agreement on methods between both groups is great news, especially as recruiters seek to provide a great candidate experience. Gamified tests also provide a potential opportunity for recruiters. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. It's clear they are appreciated by developers and perhaps underutilized by recruiters who rate them similar to technical tests with theoretical questions. Okay, so moving on from the technical part. Soft skills, a challenge for remote recruiting. So 30% of developers find it difficult to demonstrate their personalities and soft skills remotely. Actually, both recruiters and candidates listed similar top 3 challenges. The next challenge is assessing candidates' technical skills online. It seems that some people haven't discovered CodinGame yet. Okay, a little plug there. Nicely done. And then third place is dealing with technical difficulties, including, for example, not having a camera or trying to run Teams for an interview on Linux. So let's just take a look at the graph. What do you find most challenging about hiring remotely? And the top one is evaluating emotional intelligence, soft skills, and team culture fit. Yeah, that is challenging. And then developers say the exact same thing. The most challenging thing about hiring remotely is demonstrating personality and soft skills. Okay, conclusion. The conclusion is, with finding qualified tech profiles remaining the main challenge for recruiters in 2022, widening the talent pool will be at the center of HR strategies to stand out against other companies. 2, tech recruiters consider that candidate experience is the #1 priority for 2022 and will therefore pay close attention to developers' expectations at work, such as remote and hybrid options, for sure. 3 is mitigating bias in tech recruiting and improving diversity. So those will be among recruiters' top concerns, with more than 50% of HR professionals open to ditching the resume. Excellent. And 65% of them willing to hire developers with non-academic backgrounds. All really great steps. Okay, and then lastly, savvy recruiters who focus on skill-based hiring will be ahead of the game, and developers will benefit from being hired on criteria outside of the traditional resume. Okay, so last but not least, there's a section on demographics. These are the demographics of the people who contributed to the survey. Let's see. So apparently most of the people are in France. Maybe that's because is CodinGame like a French company? Unclear. Gender. Okay, so the gender of the survey respondents is 86% male, which is not ideal, but I guess that's what they were able to get as far as people responding to the survey. Age, interesting. I'm just gonna click through these and see if anything stands out here. Position, years of experience. Why did they not include anything about ethnicity here? Maybe it's just really bad and so they don't want to show it. Company size, okay, industry, blah blah blah. The recruiter okay. All right, cool. So that was CodinGame's 2022 report from the survey that they did, where they got responses from 14,000 developers and recruiters. Okay, moving on. That was interesting. Let's go into Codewars. So my next challenge, let's see, what are the options? So I can choose C++, Java, JavaScript, or Python. And let's see, rank up, fundamentals. I guess we'll just do rank up. And let's try it. Let's see what I've never done this before. I don't know anything about this website. So let's just see what this is. It looks like it's just going to be coding challenges. So, okay, trolls are attacking your comment section. A common way to deal with this situation is to remove all of the vowels from the troll's comments, neutralizing the threat. Your task is to write a function that takes a string and returns a new string with all the vowels removed. For example, okay, disembowel. Alright, so at least they have a sense of humor with their function names. That seems pretty straightforward. So let's make a new string. String answer starts off empty, and that's what we're going to return at the end. And then we just iterate through all the letters for char C in the input string. And then if it's anything but a vowel, then we use it. So what we can do here is we can just define what our vowels are. So char vowels is char vowels. No, we'll just do string vowels. Whoa. String vowels equals A, E, I, O, U. And then, let's see, does C++ have a string index of? Probably does, right? There's a string find. String find returns the position. Otherwise, it returns string : npos. So, what we can do here is if vowels dot find C is if it's equal to string : npos, then we append this character to the answer. Oh, okay. So for whatever reason, they don't have this using the standard namespace. Using namespace standard. So we can just get rid of all these. Okay. Oh, okay. So there's two. So we also need to handle the uppercase vowels. We could do it this way. I think that would be fine. This is the quickest way to fix it anyway. Okay, passed all the tests. Submit. So it looks like they had a section. Ooh, cool. Okay, so I haven't messed much with regular expressions in C++. Usually, if I have a coding challenge that requires or can benefit from regex, I'll end up coding it up in JavaScript. But this works really well too. So you define your regex, standard regex vowels, and it's just the set of all the vowels, A, E, I, O, U, and then uppercase A, E, I, O, U. And then once you have that, you can do a standard regex replace on the string. That's really cool. Now this solution right here looks inefficient. So in this solution, they iterate through all the vowels, and for each vowel, so what do they do here? For each vowel, they remove, I guess it looks like they're removing each instance. But that means that when they remove it, so I'm looking at this code right here. Every time they remove a vowel from the input string, they're like shifting over all the characters that still exist after that vowel. So this is going to give you some kind of an n squared runtime, which is not great. Let's see, there's comments here. Hey, what's up, Gigantic Bucket? Look at this. I'm trying to add your vowels back in. Look at this. Aww. Is that awesome with the vowels removed? You're too nice. Look at this awesome programmer. Welcome back in. I was just looking at this. So I solved a really simple, well, first of all, yesterday someone came in the chat and suggested Codewars as a website I could mess around with. Yeah, I just like ran an algorithm in my head to figure out what you said there. I don't know if I could explain quite how it worked. It was probably some sort of neural network, you know. So, you know, because brains and stuff, neural network. But anyway, so I did a really simple problem, which is just removing the vowels from an input string, and I submitted it, got it accepted. It was definitely linear time. Then this one right here is using a regex replace, which I've never done before in C++, but that's fascinating. But I'm trying to figure out if this is actually linear or if this is, oh wait, hold on, you can't even see the whole code. Hold on, maybe I just make my head a little smaller for a second. Okay. So is this actually efficient, or is this n squared right here? So what do? So for each vowel, they call standard remove on stir begin and stir end. And I don't know what standard remove is. C++ standard remove. Let's see. Wait. That's talking about files. Okay, here we go. So it takes an iterator first, an iterator last, and a value. Transforms the range into a range with all elements that can compare equal to val removed. Oh, okay, and I bet, okay, so it's, oh, it is linear. Okay, so it does it smartly. So it actually is fine. It is a linear algorithm. So basically what I'm sure that this does is it like goes through, it like creates a new range, and then as it's going, it drops out all of the letters that match. So that's linear, and then you do linear 10 times, so you're still linear. And then last but not least, it erases okay. Well, anyway, let's move on to the next one. I'm just checking out this Codewars thing. I've never done it before. Okay, let's look at this. Gigantic Bucket, how you doing today? Anything interesting going on in your human experience today? So a square of squares. You like building blocks. You especially like building blocks that are squares. And what you even like more is to arrange them into a square of square building blocks. However, sometimes you can't arrange them into a square. Instead, you end up with an ordinary rectangle. Those blasted things. If you just had a way to know whether you're currently working in vain. Oh wait, that's it. You just have to check if your number of building blocks is a perfect square. True. Given an integral number, determine if it's a square number. So for example, okay, so this is just like doing a square root. Doing well, just chilling. Finally about to watch Stranger Things Season 4. Okay, yeah. I hope you enjoy it. My girlfriend and I, we watched it basically as soon as it released, both the first section and then the second section, and yeah, we're both pretty big Stranger Things fans. So hope you enjoy Stranger Things Season 4. How about me? Well, I don't know if you were here yesterday when I mentioned it, but I passed my Amazon phone screen, so now I have a couple more weeks of prep time to prepare for like the full interviews. Which is going to be 5 interviews, 3 of which are technical coding, 1 system design, and then 1 behavioral. So I'm using the next 2 or 3 weeks to hopefully prep as much as I possibly can for those, and hopefully land the job. But what I will say though is I'm not stopping coding streams just when I get a job. When I get a job, I'll probably do a little bit less of the LeetCoding. It'll probably be more limited to like just like coding contests and contest recaps and stuff like that. Or maybe I'll just start every stream with like 1 LeetCode, but I want the primary focus of the stream once I get a job to be actual software development. So I have like web apps and I might build like a game or something. I think that would be fun. Remote interviews, yeah, they're going to be remote. I think the position is in Virginia or one of the Carolinas. And yeah, I mean, I already told him that I'm not relocating for this. But I live in downtown SF, and there's like Amazon offices in the area. So I hope that what I'll be able to do is go into those offices. But I'm also kind of thinking ahead because I haven't got the job yet. So I shouldn't like think too much about stuff like that until I actually get it. But yeah. So that's where I'm at. So there's a couple of different ways I could do this problem. Wait, what's the maximum input? Do they tell you? They don't give you constraints. Because if it's a really small, well, no, I'll just do the whole square root thing. How do you do a square root in C++? C++ square root. I know it has to return a double. I don't know. What's another way? Isn't there another? What's like the fastest way to check for a perfect square? Is there? Do the perfect squares have a specific binary representation? So like 1 is 1. 4 is 100. 9 is 1001. Is that right? Oh, it doesn't look like there's a pattern. 16. 16 is oh wait, yeah, so 16 is like, so 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So maybe I just do a square root. I don't know, what do you think? What do you think? Let's just use the built-in square root function. I just hope that there's not any issues with like precision doing that. The alternative would be to start at integer 1, like iterate up and square them until I either equal to or pass the input number, and then I'll know if it's a perfect square or not. So let's try this. Int. So return. Let's do this. Double S equals squirt of n. Return S times S equals n. I don't know. This is definitely going to have precision errors, right? Let's test this. Oh, wait. So, what if I were to floor it? Like, int S equals int square root of n. I don't know, does that work? Okay, so square root is going to be pound include math, I assume. Oh, C math? Pound include C math. Okay, so let's try to submit this and see if it's right. This might work. Submit. Did I get it? Okay, so this is the same thing I did. Fmod square root of n1. What's fmod? I'm not familiar with fmod. Compute remainder of division. Returns the floating point remainder of numerator divided by denominator rounded towards 0. Preloaded hash set of all 65,000 perfect squares in the range of int. Nice. Yeah. Yep. That would work. I wonder if anyone here has done anything like that. I think most of these are just going to be calling the square root function. Okay, so this is the other idea I had where instead of like doing the square root math, instead of doing square root math, just calculating the perfect squares. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. I kind of want to keep going. I want to see how long it takes for them to throw me something more interesting. Okay, so I've definitely done Fibonacci before. Wait, is there a place that I can like choose my own? Freestyle sparring. Yeah, I'm completely unfamiliar with this website. Okay, so what is the sparring thing? Is that like coding games? Okay, that's enough Coding Wars for today. I'll probably come back tomorrow and do more Coding Wars. I have a couple of LeetCode and Algo Expert problems selected that I wanted to look at. So I have some DPs. X equals floor of square root. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't think C++ has a power operator though. I do know that that Python has that. In Python you can do star star. I think C++ has like a pow function though, I think. Let's see. So you could do that. You could do like, you could do pow of floor of square root of x equals x. And then I think in JavaScript, does JavaScript have a power operator? I don't think it does. Ah, nice. So JavaScript does have star star as the power operator, and I think that's the same thing that Python does as well. So I'm not vibing with either of these two DP problems, but they are next on the list from the DP study plan. But since you're here, you might actually be able to nudge me in the right direction if you don't mind. So given an integer array nums, find a contiguous non-empty subarray within the array that has the largest product. Test cases are generated so that the answer will fit in a 32-bit integer, and a subarray is a subsequence of the array. Okay. So what's the size here? So the maximum size of the array is 10 to the 4th, and every number is between -10 and +10. The product of any prefix or suffix. Okay, yeah. So let's think about this. We're trying to find the maximum product. So anytime you multiply by a negative number, you're flipping the current product from being positive to negative and vice versa. So that's probably something that's important to keep in mind. So is this just a simple so I know Codain's algorithm for doing the maximum sum subarray. Is this just like Codain's but doing multiplication instead? It's probably not, right? Also, I'm just looking at the constraints here and trying to figure out if they want linear time or quadratic time. And I think that it probably wants linear time, right? So there's definitely a linear time solution, I think, but whether or not they will accept a quadratic solution I don't know if it's completely clear from the constraints. Okay, I need to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be back and I'll keep looking at maximum product subarray. And back. Okay. Maximum product subarray. I want to figure this one out. So if it's linear, let's get our size. Let's put some of the boilerplate code in. We're probably gonna have this. We're probably gonna have this. Okay, so we're probably gonna have given an integer array nums, find a contiguous non-empty subarray product. So if the subarray has size 1, is that just the number? Or does the subarray have to have size 2 so that you can actually create a product out of it? What's that emote? Panda Jam. I agree. You vibing with this song? I always use Pretzel Rock's Chill Station, and I think this is the most upbeat it's ever been, but I kind of like it too. I don't know. Let's see what other options they have here. Synthwave. Synthwave sounds kind of dope, right? Okay, let's try this. So what is it? So we could try to think of it similar to how the sum problem works, where dp of I could be the max product subarray, the max product of subarray ending at I. Oh, yeah? You're digging synthwave? I'll have to add synthwave to my list of stations that I like. I've mostly been doing the chill, lo-fi, and EDM stations, but I agree that synthwave could be a good addition to those three. Okay, so if I do the maximum product of a subarray ending at I, then what I can do is, I don't know, there's got to be something in here where I have to do something to handle the negatives and the positives differently, but dp of 0 would be nums of 0. Answer would also be nums of 0. Is it too loud, by the way, or does the volume of the song mix well with my voice? I don't want it to be overpowering. So dp of I. So let's think about it. If dp of I minus 1 is the maximum product of the subarray ending at I minus 1, then dp of I don't know, would it be, I'm trying to figure out if this is just Codanes but with multiplication, or if there's another element to it. So like dp of I would be the max of dp of I and dp of I times dp of I minus 1. Cool. Thanks for confirming that. And the answer would be the max of I don't know if this is right. This is probably not right. Oh, also, I'm writing C++ in a JavaScript file. Let's fix that. So, okay, so the expected output for this case is 6, which would be 2 times 3. Seems reasonable. Why did we not get that? So I start dp of 0 off at 2. Here, let's just go into the debugger. I gotta get used to just going into the debugger automatically when shit goes wrong. So we've got 2 3 2 4, then we've got 2 0 0 0. I is 1, answer is 2. Step over that line. Okay. See, debugger just helped a lot with that. So it's nums I here. Okay, so that gives us the correct answer for that case. Correct answer for those two cases. Why do I feel like this is not right though? So I'm pretty sure it's not right, but the question is, do I try to come up with my own test case that proves that this is not right? Or do I just submit and get one of LeetCode's test cases to show me why that it's not right? I'm pretty sure it's not right, so I'm just going to submit and get one of their test cases. Okay, here we go. So here's a test case it doesn't work for. Sorry. Yeah, but that would have been better practice. So -2, 3, -4. I'll do that next time. I promise. I'll come up with my own test case. So let's see, for this one, right, so for this one, all of them multiplied together gives you 24, but my code just thinks it's 3. And that's because, yeah, I mean, we can go into the debugger, but it's pretty easy to see why my code is doing that. So we have -2 for there. Then when we step over, yeah, when we step over, we figure out that 3 is better than -2 times 3. So we basically completely forget about the fact that there's actually a subarray here that is 6. Or sorry, that's -6. Yeah, that's, Max is indeed doing that. So this is the maximum product subarray problem. Whoops. That I'm trying to solve right now. So shit, I lost the test case I was working on. So How do I get it to... Do I need to keep... Do I have to keep both of those? Do I have to keep the... Oh, do I keep track of the largest positive number and the smallest negative number that I've seen so far? Is that what the problem is? The solution? So, because if you have a really negative number, all it takes is for you to multiply that by another negative number to make it positive again. So maybe you have two DP arrays. One is keeping track of the smallest negative number, and the other one is keeping track of the most positive, the largest positive number. That might work. That seems right. Okay, let's try that. So we'll have DP DP. Okay, stop debugging. DP1. Let's try with DP1 and DP2. So DP1 of I is going to be the max product of subarray ending at I. And we'll try having DP2 being the min product. So basically, this is probably not the best way to describe it. I think I want DP1 to be the max positive and DP2 to be the min negative. Max positive product, and then the minimum negative product. Does this seem right? Or am I going down the wrong path? Let's just try this. I don't think this is going to be hard to implement. So DP0 equals... how do we do this? How do we do the base cases? So if it's greater than 0, then it's nums 0. Otherwise, it's I don't know. Can I just start them both off at nums 0? Maybe I can. We can still have our answer start at num 0. Then the other thing is any zeros that are in the input. I mean, the zeros kind of like split up the problem into subproblems, because the zero, no, any zero is guaranteed to not be in the maximum product subarray, with the exception of the test case where your input is all zeros, in which case the maximum product is 0. So 0 is kind of like, they kind of like cut the input into smaller inputs that you could look at individually if you want to. Should I do it that way? Should I just create like little mini arrays of the input chopped into smaller pieces by where the zeros are? Or should I just try to do this in one loop? If I do it in one loop, so maybe what I can do is maybe I can just check for zeros here. If numsI equals a 0, then we kind of like skip this one almost. Do we just continue? So yeah. So if it's a 0, then dp of I is 0, because dp of I defines both of the dp arrays define products of subarrays ending at I. So if I is 0, then the product of any subarray ending there is 0. So dp2 of I is 0. Is that right? Do it in one loop if I want to. I'll try. That's what I'm gonna try to do right now. Also, am I on the right track with this? I'm assuming that you're familiar with what since you're saying that, I'm assuming that you're familiar with what I need to do here. So without giving away the answer, feel free to confirm or deny whether this is something that will help me solve the problem. So now we got to update both of the DPs. And then what I can actually do here is the answer is the max of the answer and the max of both of the DP arrays at I. I think that'll just be fine. So it just means I don't have to worry about that. So dp1 of I. Okay, so I think what I can do is handle the two cases, whether num sub I is greater than 0 and whether it's not. So if num sub I is greater than 0, then dp1 of I is the max of dp1. No, it's the max of. Oh wait. If num sub I is greater than 0, then I just incorporate it into both of the arrays. So dp1 of I times equals num sub I, and dp2 of I times equals num sub I. Because dp1 of I will stay positive, dp2 sub I will stay negative. You know, I don't have to continue here, because it's still possible that the answer is 0, right? So this can all be like ifs and else ifs. So we handle the case where it's 0, then we're going to handle the case where it's greater than 0, and then the third else will be handling the case where it's less than 0. So what I want to do is kind of like flip them. So dp1 of I equals dp2 of I times num sub I wait, this is wrong. Hold on a sec. This is almost right. So dp1 of I equals dp1, because this is dynamic programming, so I need to reference the previous element here. So if the number is greater than 0, then it's whatever the previous max was times the number at the current index. Otherwise, dp2 of I minus 1 So do I have to do a max here, or is this right? dp2 of I equals dp1 of I minus 1. So the only problem now is, I think the way I'm starting it off. One of them needs to start out as negative. Oh, hey, Dungeoneer3. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. Oh, man, something's wrong with my follower goal again. Oh, no, it's working. Okay, it went to 1 out of 5. Sweet. Thanks, Dungeoneer, for the follow. So the question is, do I need to... Is this just right? That's the first question. Okay, so it gets accepted for that input. Let's run it on all the inputs that I know of so far. Okay, so that gets accepted for all the inputs that I know of so far. The question is this right? So the way I wanted to structure the problem, the way I wanted to structure the DP rather, is that DP1 is keeping track of the max positive product of Subarray, and the DP2 is keeping track of the min negative. But maybe it doesn't actually matter which is which. Maybe all that matters is that when you encounter a negative number, you flip them, which is what I'm doing here. So if I encounter like a -6, then I want to take my... I want to update both the most positive that I have, which I would do by multiplying by the previous most negative, and I want to update the most negative by multiplying it by the previous most positive. So this might actually be right. So let's just change this to max/min, max/min, and the idea is that it's one or the other. Okay, right? But maybe the order of those doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to submit this because I think this might be right. Are you actually using the DP1 and DP2 vectors? Yes, because down here is where I update my answer, and the answer is the max of whatever the best we've seen so far is, and then the max of DP1 sub I and DP2 sub I. Oh, I see what you mean. So it is possible that I could space optimize this. I could go down that route, but what I really want to do first is see if my logic is right. But yeah, that's a good... The answer is right. Yeah. No, I understand that. It's just usually when I'm coding it out, I don't focus on the space as much, and then you know, I can always come back later and try to optimize the space. So let's submit. Yeah, see, it's still wrong. So let's see why that test case is failing. Right, I-1 is the only other index. True, dude, true. Okay, so my so I'm failing on a test case 0, 2. Let's try to figure out why. Okay, so my output is 0 and expected is 2. Makes sense? So, oh, okay, so, I see. So whenever I encounter a 0 in the input, my subarray needs to restart, like the subarray that I'm keeping track of. And so in these two test cases, I need to handle the case where dp of I-1 is 0, because right now dp of I-1 could be 0, and I'm just multiplying it into whatever the current element is, which is producing the wrong answer. So I think this needs to be the max of nums I and dp of I-1 times nums I. So that just makes sure that adding the max here just makes sure that if the previous element is 0, Oh, but wait, this actually won't work because we don't know if we need to max or min. So this is just, I think what I can do here is dp of I minus 1 equals 0, question mark, nums I. I could do a ternary, I think, like that. So if the previous dp is 0, that means that we encountered a 0. So we just have to restart. Otherwise, we multiply in the current number. Let me try this. I'm not entirely sure if this is right. There's probably a more beautiful way to write this, but I'm just trying to see if this approach is right. So the other thing too is anytime we encounter a 0, both of the DP arrays become 0, so it doesn't really matter here technically like which one I'm checking. I guess for consistency this would be checking dp of I minus 1. Let's see, does that pass the test case? Yeah, okay. So now we've passed 4 test cases. Well, okay, yeah, we passed 4 test cases. Let's submit. Okay, it's still wrong. So now we're failing for this test case. So what are we, so we're saying 3, okay, and the output is obviously 4. So how's that happening? Oh, because, okay, I probably do need to rewrite this part right here a little bit, but I think we always need to consider the case where the current element is better than taking the current element and multiplying it. Okay, so what I wanted to be able to do here was I wanted to be able to do dp of I is the max of these two. So if I were to do that though, then the thing is that this would need to be the min, and then we would do down here, it would be the inverse. So down here, we know that num sub I is less than 0, so we're dealing with a negative number. So we would invert which array that we're storing in. So okay, so see, yeah, just making that fixes that test case. But are we right for all the test cases though? Probably not. I think okay, so it says we're right for all those test cases, but now the issue is I'm definitely treating DP1 as the max positive, and I'm definitely treating DP2 as the min negative, because I'm doing the maxes and the mins here. So for that, we need to now make sure that we're starting it off right. Okay, I know how to do it. I think I know how to do it. I think the solution is to start them off at 0. And we'll start this off. Basically, we're going to iterate through the whole array instead. So this will start off at I equals 0. Then this is numeric limits of int min, because we're trying to maximize. So we started off at a number that represents negative infinity. And now we have to increase the size of our DP arrays by 1. And now I starts off at, yeah, we have to, there's a trade-off here. So now nums needs to be nums of I minus 1 everywhere. I'll just store it in a variable, int x equals nums of I minus 1. And then all of these become x. I don't know about this particular song. Is it like way too happy for what we're doing right now? I need like a thinking song. Hold on, let's skip. Okay, this might be better. Okay, so basically what we're doing here is the DP array will just continue to be zeros until we find a positive or a negative number. Yeah, it does seem too happy for math. Let's see how this song is. Okay, so that passes all the test cases we have so far. Okay, I'm just gonna go again. God damn it. Oh. That's just a stupid edge case. -2. So how do I check that? So it's giving me -2. Well, here, let's just hone in on that one edge case. Run the code. So we're saying 0, it's supposed to be -2, and that's because of this. Because we're starting off these at 0. Yeah. That's because I've shifted over my DP array so that I have my base cases is just 0. Yeah, and then nums is the input array. So technically I is going through all the numbers, but because we started at 1 and we go through n, we have to subtract 1 to get to the actual index that we're looking at. Okay, hold on. Let's go back. Let's take a step back. Let's go back to when I was doing it not this way. So back to before I messed with the indices. Okay, but then I still do want this though. Hold on a sec. I still want this. And then this is I. And then all that stays the same. So this, I starts off at 1, and then this starts off at nums 0. Like, I think my general approach is right. I'm just having an issue with how to initially configure these arrays. So let's run the debugger. Oh yeah, and then answer here. Yeah, line 11. Thanks. Okay. Running down all the test cases. Okay, it's right for all the test cases, including our brand new friend, the -2. Submit. Hey! I was overthinking it. I thought I needed to do something weird here. Like how I needed to like initialize my DPs. But that's it. That's the solution. So we get that one accepted. Okay, so memory usage is only better than 6.63%. So Steve7411, you were yeah, gigantic bucket. I got it. Without any without having to look at the solution or any hints or anything, which I'm happy about. Steve7411, you mentioned optimizing the space, so I'll actually go ahead and do that for this one, with the sole reason because my solution is only using less space than 6.6% of other C++ submissions. So let's see. Yeah. Int, I don't know, int prev1. Oh, we could just do it this way. So let me comment out these lines. Let me just delete those lines, and then this becomes prev1, and then this becomes prev2. Yeah, there are distribution curves. How do I get, I don't know if I remember how to get to that page though. Oh, is it, it's right here, details. So memory distribution. Anyway, there it is. So I'm here. So since there's solutions that are solving it in 0 time over here, I'm wondering if that means that either someone already knew the answers to all the test data, or maybe, hold on, maybe it's just, I'll run it a couple more times after I fix the space. It might be one of those ones where you get a range from like 0 to 10 because it's so fast. Bimodal at the right chunking? That's a little too mathy for me. I'm not sure what that means. The 0 time solution was a LeetCode bug. It heap allocates and everything. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Okay, so answer is the max of answer prev1 and prev2. Here we get prev1 equals 0. Prev2 equals 0. Can I, oh, is this easy? Oh wait, no. So we need like next, right? Next one equals prev1. Next two equals prev2. And then this just becomes next one, next two, next one, next one, next two, next two, and then here we get prev1, prev1, prev2, prev2, and then down here we just have prev1 equals next one, prev2 equals next two. Is that it? Is that the same? Oh, we need to specify that these are ints, obviously. There we go. Ah, okay, so we space optimized it, at least a little bit. We're still using... There's probably a way to condense it so that we don't need like 2 extra stack variables here, but... let's submit it a few more times and see what... Okay, so yeah, it looks like the range is pretty wide. I got a 3 millisecond solution, 16 millisecond solution. But I recall that the 3 millisecond one I got was faster than like 75%. Yeah, anyway, that's good enough for that one. If you run it enough times, it will use more memory than your first solution. There's too much noise for those numbers to be meaningful. I see. But were you saying that on harder problems that take longer to run and use more memory, that the percentages you get are more meaningful? Yeah, gigantic bucket, thanks. Yeah, I'm hype about getting that one. Let's see. I think I'm probably gonna do one more problem. Gotcha. The noise is less significant on longer running problems. Makes sense. So this one looks pretty similar. Maybe I can reuse some of the ideas from the last problem. Given an array of integers nums, find the maximum length of a subarray where the product of all its elements is positive. Oh, this is the maximum length. This is not the product. A subarray of an array is a consecutive... Yeah. Okay. Wait, so... Is it... Okay, so let's just write out some boilerplate stuff that we're probably going to need. Answer starts off as 0. Gigantic Bucket, you say that a fun part of writing programming contest problems is designing input bounds and cases so that the difference in complexity class keeps runtime under the time limit or launches you way past it. Yeah. Oh, so I have not given up on Bubbly Troubly. At some point, Gigantic Bucket, I actually want to work on this on stream, and maybe you can like nudge me in the right direction. But I also understand that you probably don't want to just tell me how to do it, because apparently the submissions on this, even like since it's been on OpenCADIS, not many people have actually gotten it accepted. Oh, this is cool. I can see which contest it was used in. The 2016 East Central NA Regional Contest. And 2 solved out of 16 tries. Was that the hardest problem in the contest? Oh yeah, it was. Although whatever this was, removal game, was 11 out of 71. But then, shit, how do I get there? Wait. Oh, there we go. So how do I get back to... I remember I was able to see like the submissions for this. Maybe I gotta log in. Man, I got no submissions in this. I think I have a different Caddis account, but anyway, I remember seeing somewhere, I don't know how to find it now, that the submissions for this are only like 26 accepted. But anyway, so back to this one. Some definition of hardest. Okay, so let me tell you what I was thinking. Also, Steve7, if you're still here and you're curious, we're talking about Bubbly Troubly. Oh, maybe the problem is that I'm looking on ecna16.caddis and not open.caddis. If I just change this to open, will that fix it? There we go. Wait. Well, there's more stuff here. Problems, bubbly, troubly. Well, anyway, so here's what I was thinking. You have to like to figure out how much wine is overlapping from, you know, the upper glasses to the lower ones. So it's going to be some section of a circle. And I was thinking that when you're building your graph, you have to be able to represent which part of the circle, like which arc along the edge of the circle is overflowing into the circle below. And so my idea for that was to use degrees. Like you could basically have a way of representing that degree 23 through 90 or you know, degree 23 through 67 overflows down to, and then it would be like a pointer to another node in the graph, which would be another glass. So you could do like 360 degrees, but then I got concerned about like the precision of the answer. Like maybe 360 degrees is not a high enough resolution for getting the right precision in the answer. Like maybe it needs to be tenths of a degree or hundredths of a degree. So, you know, your maximum number of different like points around the circle would be like 3600. Yeah, exactly. Or it would be like 0 to 3600 if we were talking about tenths of a degree. Or it would be 0 to 36,000 if we were talking about hundredths of a degree. And then, but you wouldn't store that as like an array. You'd have like intervals. Like you'd have something like, you could have something like this. Right, you could have something like that, and that would point to another glass node or something. Oh, using doubles, so you're saying using 360 degrees, but using doubles, so you could have like 45.356. Or using radians. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so I just wanted to confirm that I had the right idea. But yeah, it's an interesting problem. Also, do you know what this is? Gigantic bucket, Aho Korosik algorithm. I discovered it earlier today watching a YouTube video, and I'm pretty fascinated. I want to learn how to do it and find some problems that it solves efficiently. Okay, maximum length of subarray with positive product. Good start to an idea. Thank you. Given an array of, okay, so we start off assuming that it's 0 because there could be no positive product subarrays. That would only be the case though if either it was a single negative number or if it had all zeros. Oh, okay, cool. Cool, yeah, that makes sense. There's a problem on AlgoExpert that you can use it for. Whether or not I remember exactly which problem, I'm not sure. It would definitely be in the hard category, so if we group by difficulty. Oh, it had something to do with phone numbers. Maybe I can just search for phone number mnemonics. Is that the problem that I'm talking about? Yeah, this is the problem. So you can use Aho Korosik to solve this. And the only reason I know that is because I was watching a mock coding interview on YouTube earlier today, and the interviewee solved that exact AlgoExpert problem using Aho Korosik. So that's one I do want to look at. And if you use Aho Korosik, it solves it in like a linear runtime, but then the interviewer said that in a normal interview, you wouldn't be expected to whip out something like Aho Korosik, that the less efficient O of n squared runtime would suffice, where you just build like a trie and you iterate through the trie up to n times. So, but even though I don't need to know Aho Korosik for interviews, I still kind of want to learn it because it's an interesting algorithm, and I want to learn it and then solve that phone number problem with it. That's not going to be today though. Building the graph fast, yeah, makes sense. Steve, what's your background in this? It seems like you're pretty knowledgeable and experienced in this stuff. What am I doing? Int I is 0. So my initial thought, which might not be right, is dp of I is max length, max subarray len, max len of subarray ending at I with all positive. With positive product. Just a programmer? Cool. Cool. Programming is cool. dpy max length of the subarray end at I with positive product. The only reason I'm formulating it this way is because this is how I have done the last several of these DP problems. which are all part of the DP study plan on LeetCode, and it's worked. But at some point I expect I'm gonna reach a problem where representing it this way, like dp of I equals something 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 for the subarray ending at I, will not work. And I'll have to formulate the problem slightly differently. You know what? I think I don't mean to bring things to a raging halt, but this seems like a good one for me to start off with tomorrow. Because I wasn't planning on doing as long of a stream today as usual, so it's been 2 hours and 30 minutes, and my usual streams, like my streams for the past couple of days, like the past week or so, have been like 4 hours. So I actually think I'm going to end here and pick up tomorrow with maximum length of subarray with positive product. Yeah, thanks for hopping in, Steve, and Gigantic Bucket, thanks for coming in again. Appreciate having you around. Yeah, Steve, thanks for coming in for the first time. I'll be going live with more streams like this, so if you're interested in knowing when that happens, you could, you know, no pressure, but you could drop a follow, but you don't have to. You could always just check the gaming or the software development category, and I'll either be in there live or I won't. And once at some point, I'm gonna change the content of the stream a little bit. It'll be less focused on interview prep, and it'll be more focused on like web development. But at least for right now, while I'm actively interviewing for jobs, the content of the stream is going to be focused around my prep for those jobs. So yeah, I'll come back tomorrow, and I'll solve this one, and then I have some other problems I want to look at. There's the knapsack problem, Dijkstra's algorithm, topological sort, cycling graph, all really useful algorithms to know. So I'm going to review all those, and yeah, that's it. That's it for the stream. Thanks anyone who was here watching. Thank you. Thank you Dungeoneer3 for the follow. And with that, I'm gonna end, and I'll hopefully catch some of you again tomorrow for more of the same. All right. Good night, everyone, or good morning, or good day, whatever time it is where you are. Peace.